Southeast Missouri State head coach Tom Matukewicz team coming off their open date. So they got two regular season games remaining, and this one's going to be first at Murray State. That's the second matchup between the teams this year. SEMO controls its own destiny, wins out, they would be the automatic qualifier to the FCS playoffs. So, Coach, just some thoughts on your team, and then we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, we're certainly glad we had a bye week. I don't know that any coach ever doesn't appreciate that, as long as it's middle to the end of the season. So I don't know that it was the physical, but definitely just the mental, being able to let go of the rope a little bit mentally and not have the stress of a game that week. It's been a long year. We got 2 seasons wrapped up in one calendar year, and so we're all kind of there, and gave more time off than normal, and now hopefully that doesn't hurt our execution for this next game. Certainly have a lot of respect for Coach Hood, his staff, and the racers. They've had our number, and they've done a really good job. We had a 2-score lead in the fourth and lose the football game, and I just did a really poor job coaching. And so hopefully I don't cost my football team like I did last time. And in those critical situations that we were able to make those plays and end up keeping this playoff dream alive, and a chance to put a ring on a finger.
Well, let's start with, and I know we talked about this a little bit earlier and you didn't have an answer for it because it hadn't happened. Now you're preparing for a team for the second time. You've got video on them because you just played a couple weeks ago. How's that different? I know it's just the Tuesday. How's that going to be different going into this game with them?
Well, it is unique, and it's the third time in a calendar year, so it's even crazier. So if anybody ever wants to know about Murray, they need to call me, not Murray. The thing that does change is, schematics are easy to get off film, but the level of talent and what a player does and doesn't do well is way easier to judge when you see it live. And so we got a good understanding of their personnel. And so hopefully we can put our players in good position based on that data.
So when you played him last time, that was the first time that DJ Williams, for them, their quarterback, had started. He had not started a game before. So that's a little bit of a curveball and something you hadn't seen. Can you talk about his game and what he brings to them?
Yeah, just a really good quarterback, and the future's bright. He's young, has not made the silly, dumb mistakes that you would think a kid at that age would. And they've obviously done a really good job coaching him. And if you look through our season, we have had a hard time with dual threat quarterbacks. The Tennessee Tech quarterback that came in and did a nice job versus us, and obviously DJ and others. So, this is something to be concerned about. We got to try to figure out our problem with that. And so a dual threat guy is different and changes some things. And so we just got to do a better job than we have in the past.
And then just looking on paper, your quarterback, CJ May, had one of his best games of the season last week. He accounted for 3 touchdowns. What's been his progression from the start to now?
Yeah, man, we're really pleased with him, and it should have been even better. There was a couple drop balls that could have made that even look even better. So, he's a consistent human being. He's a tough, hard worker, and so life will reward you. And I think he's seeing that now because he shows up to work every single day, and he keeps going. And the story, we got him in July. So you get better by playing, not by talking about it. And so he's been able to play quite a bit and learn quite a bit. His ego's not gotten in the way of his progress. And, we just are thankful for him. And hopefully that continues and he can help us win it this weekend.
And Murray in their game this past week, they were up, and then Tennessee Tech kind of came back into it, and then they put the hammer to it and closed out the game. Have you seen anything different? What they've done since you played them last, or is it you sort of said, is it the same team you saw a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, I think their identity's the same, schematically, they're the same. They are getting some players back healthy, it looks like. But um, it's the same thing. It's just crazy year. You just never know what's going to happen. And, how's my team going to respond off of a bye week, and just, crazy things. So, just do the best you can, get a good plan together, and make sure the preparation is where it needs to be, and go let it rip.
And then I wanted to talk about turnover margin and turnovers. That's obviously a very important stat. Turnovers lost. You're all second in the OVC. You've lost 11 turnovers this year, and then you're in turnover margin. You're also second. So obviously that's an important stat. What has your team done well to limit the amount of turnovers you all have had this season?
Yeah, we emphasize it, and we talk about it, and we skill it. And you're not going to play if you're got bad ball security. So, we just make it a big deal. That's a program thing. Like I tell the players, every time you got the football in your hands, you have everybody's hopes and dreams of an OVC title, and you have to do a great job with it. We've been a little inconsistent. And so we got to really do a better job of taking the ball away. The whole year has been pretty solid as far as ball security, but we got to get people in those long situations where you might have a better chance of turning them over, those type of things. But, we got to really do a great job of trying to create takeaways, or a better job.
I want to ask you about one of your former players got called up by the Patriots from the practice squad. So can you talk about that, and just another chance of a player getting another opportunity on the big stage?
Oh, I love Christian Wilkerson. He was obviously such a great player in our league, and I knew when he went to the Patriots, they're going to love him, because Christian's a worker and he's not afraid to get coached. And I knew that he would buy into their system and special teams and all the other things that Coach Belichick likes. And it's just great opportunity for him, and just so proud of him and the man he is. As good of a football player he is, he's a tremendous human being, and has a great single mama that's should be so proud of her son and who he's becoming.
That's you have a couple people. Mike Ford came back from injury, so there's several Red Hawks who have making their name for themselves in the NFL.
No, it's great to see, and that is certainly something that we're proud of, that an elite league like the NFL, will come and take a Red Hawker now and then. And lots of NFL teams have been in to check out our current Red Hawks, and hopefully we get the next one in there.
Perfect. Well, Coach, I appreciate your time this morning. Best of luck on Saturday, and we'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate it, Kyle.